Hello and welcome back to The Movies Made Us Do It. Me and Matt are back. How are you, Matt?
I'm pretty good, sir. How are you?
I'm very, very well. Yes, indeed. All good here. There we go. That was good. That was a brilliant start we just had there.
What happened?
Just me being a fucking idiot. Welcome to the show, everybody. We were just talking with a black screen there. It's fine. Don't worry. How are you doing?
Good. Yep. Much better.
Excellent. I'm glad. Yes, you weren't feeling too well earlier this week, so that's good news. We are today discussing well, I know A Better Tomorrow was critically better received in overseas than it was, over here, but in terms of impact, Hard Boiled in the West, I think, is what popularized the John Woo movie, and pretty much started the whole revolution in the West. I mean, I remember when this movie came out, and I still feel this way now. I watched this movie, and I mean it in the nicest way possible, in the best way possible. I finished this movie, and I'm like, I don't need to see another gunfight for like a month. Like, they just do everything you need to see in a gunfight. And you're like, that's all of it. It's all in one movie. We can never make a gunfight again. We've done it.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about all that is Wu wasn't actually intending on having an American career yet. He was. But this came. The heroic bloodshed movies were sort of waning anyway, and apparently comedies were going to be the next big thing in Hong Kong. So it was already, the Hong Kong audience was already losing interest in those movies.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't said the movie yet. Hard Boiled.
I did say it briefly.
You did? Okay, I didn't. When it came out in the States were absolutely mad for it. And it was like, okay, maybe I should go over there and see what's going on over there and try and do something with that audience instead. Which it's a really cool sort of thing that happened. I mean,
maybe I could do this. Maybe I could do this with homeless. Maybe I could do this with homeless Jean-Claude Van Damme. That would be cool. I love Hard Target. I don't give a fuck. That's a fun movie. It's nonsensical, but it's fun.
I enjoy all of those movies that he did over there, with probably the exception of
Wind
Mission
Talkers
Impossible 2.
Oh yeah,
because that is just a fucking absolute mess. That fucking movie.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's the worst Mission Impossible movie. But
it is. But
this ain't.
Oh man, what a fucking movie this is! And the thing is, watching this again, it's been a number of years actually since I've seen it.
Same. It's been a long time,
and it just made me smile for the whole fucking thing. Just a big fucking grin. It's like, oh my god, this is just such a fucking great movie.
It's at once one of the silliest and also one of the coolest movies ever made.
Yep.
I
agree with that. It's so silly and so.
Oh, it's so silly, but it's so great.
And the funny thing is that when Wu was first sort of coming up with it and making it, putting everything in order, he basically told everybody that this was going to be a lot more grounded. It was going to be.
I feel like it started that way.
And then of course for a number of things happened, but
there's a number of elements in this film that makes me feel like it might have started that way. Because if you look at the script without the over-the-top gunfights, there's an interesting enough story going here. It's something that Infernal Affairs would perfect later, and in a very different way, and actually pay big homage to a scene in this movie as well. But it kind of feels like it might have started that way, and then John Woo can't help himself when he gets guns. He's like, fuck.
Absolutely mental on this one. And the original scripts, the original storyline, excuse me, was It was going to be about a guy who poisons baby food.
Oh.
Yeah, it was Tony Leung was going to be a guy who poisons baby food, and it was going to be the hunt for this guy, and then pretty much everybody was like, "No, that's really repulsive. Let's not do that."
Yeah, that's awful.
So it pretty much quickly got changed to.
I was going to say it'd be like it would be like Eastern Cobra or something, where you've got like a serial killer horror plot going on with your heroic bloodshed movie. But yeah, poisoning babies. I mean, there are a lot of babies in this movie. We'll get to that.
Yes, there is. Yeah. also, Barry Wong, who was one of the script writers that they brought in to sort of brush up. He went to Germany, I think it was, and had a heart attack and died. So they ended up improvising a hell of a lot because in the end the script wasn't really finalized, and they were like, "Oh shit, we've got to." Do the best we can, and so I think they just went, "Fuck it, let's just do this."
Yeah, fill it with 40 minutes of gunfight. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right. Let's get a show on the road. And we start with a very no nonsense kind of intro. Tequila, our inspector, played by Chow Yun-fat, is it basically opens with him pouring what I think is tequila. I'm not sure what he's pouring into that glass.
Yeah, it's a slammer, isn't it?
It's a slammer, yeah. And then we just get the two names, and then hard boiled, and then we're off to the races.
I really love that. The intro as well. You've got the sort of streets of Hong Kong over, imposed over his face as he's playing. Is it clarinet? It's a clarinet, isn't it?
Yeah, they're basically the cantina band of the jazz place. They just play this one song over and over, which you get. There's a reason for it later, but
yeah, but I love that. Wu is a massive jazz fan.
Yeah, he loves guns, jazz, and doves. Those are his things. Yeah,
he wasn't allowed to put a jazz soundtrack in The Killer,
so he was like, "This is going to be nothing but jazz."
Because Choi Hark was like, nobody listens to jazz. No one gets jazz but you. So don't put it in the movie. So he wouldn't let him do it. So this one, he was like, we're going to put all the jazz in this.
Well, this is a unique film in that it only has two songs, which is this jazz song and then the hard-boiled theme, which just plays over and over again. So it's 50% jazz, this movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, we get some shots of him playing with his jazz band, and then we get some shots of the kind of streets of it's Hong Kong, isn't it? He's a Hong Kong cop, yes. Yeah. It's a nice start. He then
it's very sort of that the old noir movies used to get those sort of similar titles.
Yeah. It's very noir. And of course you got the neon lit streets in this case, which is quite nice. Makes for a nice visual. So we then see Tequila meeting up with his partner, and they're heading to a bird cafe. I guess this is a
tea house.
It's a tea house with lots and lots of birds.
Yeah.
Which I'm assuming is a traditional thing, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I honestly, I know years ago I looked it up and I cannot remember. I should have.
Yeah, because I've been puzzled my entire life by this scene, but I'm like, I assume this is something they do that I was unaware of. It looks really cool, but it's just it's interesting. So they head to this tea house and they bring their own bird, and they're kind of you made very clear there's a lot of undercover cops in this building, or at least a number of them. They're kind of they have obvious wires in their ears and stuff, some of them, but I'm guessing they're working back of house. You're not necessarily gonna no gangster's gonna accidentally see them, but they're there to observe these this gang that's dealing in pistols. And I really love some of the he's kind of moving the mirror in the bird cage.
Yeah, it's very cool the way.
It's cool.
What I like is that the like they're blending in. They're being like trying to have little conversations about his kids and things, and like, hey,
Yeah.
I've got pictures of my kids. And there's the most sort of like dude sat there going like, oh, you don't stick out at all. You're the most obvious looking like bad guy I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, the bad guy at the end of the room. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
There's a couple of those in this movie, who I love. He is one because he's just like obvious bad guy. But yeah, I think it's really cool. So the gun deal starts to go down. They're kind of handing money over, very publicly. Actually, you kind of get the impression that these gangs probably do rule the streets a little because they're quite brazen with the money and stuff. It's not like they're particularly hiding it.
No, not really.
And they're quite loud or at least the audio is quite loud of them talking about it. Yeah. But of course, one of the police moves in, pretending to be a T-boy, and he kind of pushes the kettle in front of them, and they all kind of get up, and then, of course, Tequila throws a kettle at someone, and they just scalded with hot boiling water.
The guy knocks the birdcage off the table with the
yes.
kettle, doesn't he? And then
And then Tequila follows up by throwing the kettle at someone. Yeah. And then of course Tequila smashes his birdcage, which contains 2 pistols with unlimited ammo in the clips.
It's there. It's the one that he knocked on the floor. It's there.
Oh, well, no wonder the police are here, because those guns have unlimited ammo, which is why you cannot be selling those on the street. That's extra dangerous. So only villains, as far as I can. Oh no, there's one scene where Tequila loads a shotgun. Other than that, I don't think the good guys reload at all. The bad guys reload. The good guys.
No, I think you see. Yeah, because you see the bad guys do. Yeah.
The bad guys reload a few times. I don't think that Tequila reloads once. He's just like, nope, unlimited ammo, and I'm here for it.
You do see him, I think, loading a revolver at one point later on.
Oh yeah, no, you might be right. There may be a revolver. Yeah, there may be a revolver. But these pistols, let me tell you, that he just found on the floor, they have unlimited ammo. But who cares? Because as a kid watching this, I was like, holy shit. Because this was the first of its type for me that I'd seen. And I was just like, oh my god. And this is just the opening scene. I knew nothing of what was to come later in the movie.
No.
I knew nothing about the hospital yet. I was just blown away by this.
Yeah, I mean, if you watching it sort of, with an adult logical brain, and you watch this first tea house shoot, you sort of go, they could have topped this, but they managed it. oh, do they ever? Anyway, big gunfight happens. Some great choreography all round, diving across tables. You've got that Woo stylized camera push, it's so good, good. What you also is like, you do not want to be a civilian, and you have to move fucking fast to be in this.
Oh, dude,
run! Just get down those fucking stairs, because they get absolutely like slaughtered running down those stairs. I probably shouldn't have been, but I was laughing my ass off at the number of innocent people just getting gunned down at the end of this movie. In the hospital, they're just like, no, bazooka! You're like, what? It's just innocent people, patients trying to leave, and they're like, no, die. Yeah.
But anyway...
that becomes a point for one of the bad guys at the end. Towards the end.
I know. The guy who spends the entire movie looking like the evilest man in the room turns out he has some morals, and it's like, no, this is too far.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how truthful it is, but I think the body count is somewhere around 300. So
I could buy that, dude, with the amount of patients they kill at the end of the movie as well. I could buy that. But anyway, his partner gets shot with an Uzi, and this is a number of times this happens in the movie. They get shot and keep going for a little while. They're kind of...
The funny thing is at the beginning, when the fight first opens up, the guy who opens up with the Uzi, Tequila shoots him in the legs, and you think, well, he's not going to get up now. No, it doesn't affect him at all. He's running around perfectly fine.
Yeah. But of course, his partner gets Uzi'd a bit, but he kind of gets up, and they've taken out pretty much everyone in the tea house. They're going into the kitchen now, chasing after their main man, they believe. And of course, his partner insists on going in first, and gets shot for his troubles because the guy's got a hostage. Kind of, he hesitates and he gets shot. Of course, Tequila then enraged. You get the great, signature John Woo dual pistols. But I love when he rolls through the flower.
Yep.
That's such a cool shot. When he's like, the flower's just coming off of him and he just stands there, and then you get the shot and the blood all over his white face.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
The grin on my face when that happened. It's such a. I mean, he rolls with all the bullets going off behind him, through the table. He lands, and I love that he's on the guy.
You get that
the guy's
pause.
on the floor, and he's got the gun in his face, and you're looking. It goes down to him, the bad guy. He's got the gun on him. You go back to Tequila's face. He's got all this flour over him.
Yep.
He's got the toothpick in his mouth, and he just sort of grimaces and then fires the gun, and you get that blood splatter over his face. It's like, that is the most stylized fucking thing ever, but it is absolutely awesome and beautiful.
And it's great because despite how ridiculous this opening's already been in terms of body count, you have a pause and you're like, oh, maybe he will take him in. I was like, no. No, he's not taking him in.
He just killed his mate. He's not gonna do that.
Yeah, so of course, Tequila shoots him in the face, point blank range, and then he goes out to find his partner dead on the floor. He's grieving when the I guess superintendent comes over and berates him. He basically says, "Oh, you're well done. You're such an asset, Superman." He's just like, he was our one lead. We could have got some information from him, because I'm guessing the superintendent took one look at that guy and went, "Yeah, he was shot in point blank range. Like, you had him dead to rights and just pulled the trigger." But yeah, so you can see already he is a maverick cop, and has fallen out of sorts with his superiors. He doesn't appreciate his superiors. We then get the funeral scene, of course, for his friend, and a bit more jazz.
Very slow motion funeral for the friend.
And we also see, after the funeral, which I thought was a very nice scene, actually, is we get Tequila at the jazz club, and he's kind of thinking about his partner who's died, and because I think he played drums, right, and now he obviously is dead. So he kind of looks over and he sees him playing the drums. But while that's happening, the superintendent is burning the undercover file for one of the people that died in that birdhouse that was undercover and just got killed.
Because it turns out that Tequila killed a cop, basically.
Yeah, because he didn't know. And that kind of becomes a bone of contention as the film goes on as well. He's like, well, if I'd known, wouldn't have killed him, like, I don't know what's going on. But Tequila meets one of his friends at the jazz club, and he says, when you were a cadet, you've changed. When you were a cadet, you were much more kind of easygoing, and he kind of laments the lifestyle, I guess, and the loss of his friend. I guess they're mourning. And he says, it might be the translation, but Tequila says something like, I'll miss him. He was a good friend. And his mate just goes, you can't have everything in life. I was like, dude, his friend just got shot.
Well, I think he's basically saying, well, that's just how life goes.
I know. I think it's a translation thing on the version I've got. Because that was the subtitle. Anyway, I don't know what the dub said, but that was the subtitle.
He's obviously trying to sort of comfort him in a way. He's trying to say that just life is shit, and that's just what things happen.
Yeah. Anyway,
that's John Woo, and
it is.
So the reason we get the scenes with him is because after they'd sort of been writing all this stuff, and they did a lot of stuff with Tony Leung's character.
Yes.
Chowie didn't have as much stuff to do. They taken out some of the scenes that.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
There were a few more scenes with his character that got taken out, and he said, "Well, what if he has a mentor that can at the club and he can talk to, sort of thing?" And we was like, "Yeah, okay." And apparently, I don't know how true it is, but apparently Chowie said to him, "Oh, you can play it," with the thought that if he plays the the mentor, he's less likely to cut those scenes out.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Which, if that's true, that's very good and very funny.
That's pretty good. Speaking of Tony Leung, has any character ever in cinema history had a cooler... Has anyone walked into a library any more cool than Tony Leung in this movie?
I certainly not walked into a library any cooler.
Into a public library, this guy looks like the coolest man on earth. He pulls up in that red fucking sports car, top down, and then walks in all in silhouette like Dirty Harry into this library. So goddamn cool.
And I love it. He's got the hanky on his hand as he goes through the gate and stuff. And oh man, he's so fucking. It's one of the most stylish entrances ever.
He exudes cool. And then of course you get the shot of him running his finger along all the books. Ultimately choosing a book to sit down with.
Complete works of Shakespeare, I think it is, isn't it?
The complete works of Shakespeare, indeed. And he sits opposite a man who clearly recognizes him as he sits down, and he starts talking to him quite quietly. He says, why did you betray? Is it Uncle Ho? I think his name is.
Yeah.
Uncle Howie, is that? Yeah.
Hoy, I think. Yeah, doesn't it?
Hoy. And he says, "Oh, I didn't betray him." He kind of, begs, or feigns innocence, I guess. But he's turning the pages, and then the next page he turns, you see this silence pistol in there. Takes the gun out, shoots the guy in the head, blood everywhere. And then this librarian walks in, who just looks like, oh yeah, another one got shot. She just like completely uninterested.
It must be a Tuesday. It's like
yeah. It's Tuesday. John Woo.
Riots have been in again.
Yeah. Oh no! It was only one this time.
Yeah, and I like it. He takes the book back and puts it away. I love the spurting effect of the blood is like, whoa, that's a lot of fucking blood from.
It's a lot of blood, and it
that much, but
it goes to show how cool. It goes to show how cool Tony Leung's character is, because despite all of that blood, he walks out completely clean.
Yes. Yeah. Not a spot.
Not a spot. Not a spot.
Also, what's great as well is when with the librarian, when the cops turn up and they're talking to her, and she basically says, "Oh, it was like a dream. It was just came from." And you're like, "Yeah, it really was. It's exactly like a dream the way he walked in." It's like she was obviously too dazzled by Tony Leung to be.
Yeah. He's a good-looking guy. He's a good-looking guy, and he walked in with some goddamn style, that's for sure. So Tequila turns up on the crime scene, sees the shape of the book based off of the outline in blood.
Yeah.
And then of course you get some nice symmetry as he kind of follows what Tony Leung's character did. The reason I'm not saying Tony Leung's character is because I was going to leave it for a reveal later, but for such a cool man, he has the lamest name in this movie. Alan. It's Alan. You got Tequila, which is a really cool fucking name. I know it's not his name, it's his nickname, but then Alan. Tequila and Alan.
I think that's a very Hong Kong thing though, because you get a lot.
No, it is. There's a I'm
very random English names.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure in obviously Japanese, but in Invasion of Astro Monster, I'm pretty sure he's called Alan as well. The American that's on the flight. So maybe it's like a name that the Eastern. In the East are like, that'll do. That's an American name.
Yeah,
Alan.
I think Kevin's
anyway,
you think
Kevin, yes,
you choose the most boring name. Sorry if you're out there if you're called Alan or Kevin, but
yeah, sorry, but
yeah.
Anyway, he finds the pistol. Of course, he finds the book and the pistol. Because Alan didn't put it away properly. He did leave it kind of hanging out there.
He got it.
And then we head back to the police station. We see the team are kind of talking about this killer and the weapon he used, and Tequila just kind of makes light of the fact that he can't find a house. Basically, he's just like, I can't even find a house to rent on my own because I'm single now.
How much he says so many dollars for so much square footage. How am I supposed to pay for that?
Yeah, and doesn't one of them say, well, why don't you just rent a room somewhere? And he's like, well, then the jazz house, above the jazz house, that's where I want to be,
They also bring up his girlfriend as well and say, well, why don't you get back with your girlfriend so that you can get the there must be some is it government dispensation for couples? If you're a single,
possibly.
If you're single, you don't get it, but if you're in a couple, you get it. So he's like,
well, then it's double the money, isn't it? Double the income.
Yeah, they're clearly not having on good terms right now.
So speaking of,
then Theresa Mo gets introduced.
Yeah, so we get the lady coming in with the flowers, and she takes them into the office of his ex-partner, I guess. Yeah. Their kind of on-off relationship is the feeling I get from them.
Yeah.
And Tequila's kind of like, I mean, her office is comically full of flowers at this point. Like it's we're reaching psychopath levels if this is actually an admirer. It's like you've gone into full creep mode now. This is way too far. White roses absolutely everywhere. But she gets the flowers and she reads the note and appears to recognize it as a song. Meanwhile, Tequila's outside praying.
The shrine of General Gung Yu, isn't it? And I like it. He says as it, General, can you help it fix it with my lady, and there's stuff like that. And then I love at the end he says, also, can I get him an apartment?
Yeah. And I love it. This starts the trend of every time you see Tequila in an office with anyone, all of their offices are plate glass and people are always using excuses to just stare in.
Yeah.
Like at this point there's a couple of guys looking in, and then when he looks around they just pretend to pray. They're like, oh yeah, we're praying.
Yeah, blinds don't exist. They just just have open offices for everybody dressing downs.
Yeah, not in this office. You see everything. But of course she recognizes the song, and she's trying to write down the numbers, which I guess are the chords that it relates to.
Yeah, it's the because it's going like la do fa, all that sort of stuff. It's the and of course she's getting them slightly wrong. And
yes, well, she asks Tequila for help, doesn't she? And then he comes in and corrects a few things for her, a few of the notes. And then she heads off to the superintendent and gives him the numbers. And I'm assuming
I do love it when they sing it though. It's so awful.
They have a couple, but they do have a couple's moment, don't they? Together, they have a brief there's still something there. And I love that she then tries to sing to the superintendent, and he's having none of that shit.
He's like, no, stop that. It's like a holy grail, is it? Stop that.
Yeah, exactly. And so he sits down and he punches in those numbers into either as a Caesar cipher or just the numbers equals the number of the alphabet. I don't know the letter of the alphabet, but either way, he types it in and gets a message. I cannot remember what that message says. It says...
I don't remember that one. I remember the second message.
No, I was just going to say that. I remember the second one. What does the first one say?
Never bite your own tail, but I can't remember what the first one was.
The first one is... Dun, dun, dun. Lion near trap stop investigation is what it says. Which I'm assuming is him saying, hey, I'm near, I'm near the point of solving this. Just get this cop off my back because this cop is going to cause me trouble.
Yeah.
And we then get Tequila heading in to the superintendent, and he kind of like I guess at this stage they just kind of have a brief a brief chat. It's not the full blown arguments
No.
that are to come. But
Yeah,
you get the sense of the tension between them. They've kind of, you know, they're clearly not on good terms.
Yeah. What's his what's his name? Philip Chan, who plays the Super. He was actually a copper in real life.
Ah, okay. He looks like a cop, actually.
Yeah, he does. He's for a number of years, and he said that this brought back a lot of memories from real, you know, operations and things.
Right. So presumably there was less gunfire, but yeah.
I'd like to think so, but
you would hope so. Is this how it is?
Probably a lot more blades and less guns, maybe.
Yeah. Anyway, we're then introduced to one of my favorite people in this movie. It's Uncle Hoy, the illegal gun runner with the heart of gold.
Yes. Yeah.
I love the movie makes out that he's like, well, he's an illegal gun runner. He's lovely and everyone loves him. He's really nice to his people.
He makes sure that all of his people are fed right, you know?
Yeah, he's responsible for countless deaths, but he's a lovely man to his employees. He's very nice to his employees.
I like it when he's talking to Alan, and they're sort of discussing about how, you know, bad people and stuff. And basically the only thing Alan can say is, well, there were a lot of worse people out there.
Yeah, because he says, doesn't he say like, if I acted bad, how would you treat me? And he's like, yeah, there's worse people out there.
Yeah.
It's like, what does that mean? There's always a worse person, but that's not the point.
Which turns out to be true, but you know,
it certainly does turn out to be true. But anyway, that conversation kind of comes to a close with Alan saying, look, why don't you just because Alan, you get this brief conversation at the table outside, and you get the feeling that he kind of looks at him as maybe like a father figure of sorts.
Yeah.
They certainly get on. They have a bond regardless of Alan's secret profession. But he says to him, look, you know, why don't you just get out while you can? You know, just leave. Go to Hawaii. Maybe you could live there. You'd like it there. But Uncle Hoy says, no, I was born here. I will die here. This is where I belong. And he says not to trust, what's his name? Is it... I can't think of his name. Is it Foxy? It might be Foxy. The other guy that comes in, he's like...
yes, it is. It's Foxy.
Yeah, and then he kind of briefly talks about going to meet Johnny to Alan, and you get the impression that Uncle Hoy is kind of either aware or he straight out heard him say that, because he looks around like, this is bad. We then see this meeting, so the meeting gets set up. This is where we're introduced to the biggest villain you've ever seen, man with long hair and sunglasses, later eye patch, who sits and stands menacingly. Yes, who turns out to be, he also has something of a heart later, but it takes a while.
Philip Kwok as Mad Dog, so he was the stunt coordinator.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Wu decided that Anthony Wong, who plays Johnny, wasn't imposing enough.
I think he is, but this guy is on another level.
I think in a different way. Yeah,
in a different way.
He didn't like his presence, so he wrote the part for Philip Kwok, who had been a star in the 70s and 80s. So he was in a lot of kung fu movies.
Yeah.
And Wu loved his performance in those movies, so he wrote this part for him. And my God, is he fucking good! Is Mad Dog is wonderful. He's just so oozing with menace at every opportunity. Man. And once he gets
his look is just so like he's just got such a look about him.
Once he gets the eye and the burn, he looks even more evil.
Which is what makes it amazing that at the end, of all people, he's the one that's like, this is a bit far, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even for me, this is a bit much.
Yeah. And Anthony Wong, who
tremendous actor.
I fucking absolutely adore Anthony Wong. He's played some
me too.
best villains and best, and he has.
And of course would play next to Tony Leung in a few movies, including Infernal Affairs.
Yep, he didn't like working with Wu.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, he said that Wu didn't listen to any of the actors except for Chow Yun-fat.
Right.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, he found working with him difficult, but I think he has a great performance here.
Oh yeah, regardless of his feelings, he delivers an amazing performance.
Yeah,
no doubt. I've never seen him deliver a bad performance, to be fair. So yeah, tremendous stuff. But anyway,
have you seen Bun Man?
No.
Where he's a serial killer who puts
don't think so.
Puts people in meat buns. It's I recommend it. It's great.
Okay, sounds fun. Anyway, Alan is taken to meet the crime boss. And they have kind of an almost to kind of begin with a tense meeting. They're kind of sat at dinner table. He comes in, sits down, and he's like, that was one of my best men that you killed there. You just you shot him point blank range. But he's like, but I am kind of impressed by the work. He's like, I'll forgive you because you have ability, and an ability like that is thin around here. So I'm gonna, I don't want to ruin that ability or squander that ability by killing you.
He was perfectly reasonable at this point.
At this point, considering where we end up with this man, this is the most reasonable you will see him in this film. So he says that he's, Alan says like he's still loyal to Uncle Hoy as long as he's alive, and he says, oh well, I appreciate loyalty, I respect loyalty, So they have a something of the beginnings of a working relationship here.
Yeah.
But of course they come outside and they find their cars are plastered in newspapers detailing the murder of Tequila's partner. And presumably the sting at the birdhouse. I don't read Chinese, so I don't actually know what these newspapers say, but I'm assuming that's what it is.
Yeah, it's basically saying about the gun smugglers.
The gun smugglers, the murder.
How it all went down, how a number of innocents were killed, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. They all run to the cars and start ripping off the newspapers, but of course Tequila is stood there and grabs the boss and holds him at gunpoint and says, look, scum, the detective at the birdhouse was my friend. Like, I'm gonna get you. Basically, your days are numbered.
Yeah.
But of course, Alan comes up and hits him with the gun, with the butt of the gun to the face.
Yep.
Tequila falls to the ground. Immediately, the mob boss pulls a gun on him, but Alan, of course, says, look, he's not worth it. It's not worth it. He's a cop. Broad daylight. Don't do it.
It's let's not make a scene here. Basically, he says.
Yeah. Do it some other time.
There'll be another chance.
Yeah.
Johnny, he listens to reason for once, and
early on he does. Yeah. I think those two scenes are that's about it. After this, all bets are off.
More increasingly unhinged as he goes along.
Yeah. So we see Tequila going fishing later on. He catches a fish and he meets with Foxy, who is revealed to be working for the police, or at least as an informant for Tequila.
Yeah, he's an informant.
And he's got money in the bucket, in the chum bucket or whatever you're using, bait bucket.
The bait. I think it's the fresh bucket to keep the fish in, isn't it? I think
I suppose it probably is. He keeps throwing it back, so I assumed he wasn't doing that. But yeah. I guess that's why, because he didn't want to give him a bucket full of fish. Like, it's in the bottom of that bucket if you can get it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we see that he's his informant.
I mean, I would say that seems like the worst place to meet up, because they're out, like, right out there, and anybody can spot them. Just
it's pretty public. I mean, I know it's the end of a pier or whatever, but it's pretty clear. But you see that, Tequila's not without a heart. He suggests that he gets in contact with his mother and stuff. He tells Foxy to get in contact with his mum. And
yeah, because he says he's arranged for his mum to go into a home, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He says he should go and visit her when he gets a chance, basically.
He refuses. He says, "I'll see her when I'm a made man." Basically, he says, "I'll see her when I've made it to the big time or whatever."
Yeah.
Right
there, you go, "Whoop! That dude's gonna be fucking die." Then that's the end of that dude.
Yeah.
He's promised to go and see his mum. That's it. That's the end of you. Something.
Oh yeah. But anyway, Foxy's given them some information, and they now know where the armory is, effectively, or where the gun the deal's going to go down. Because it's Uncle Hoy's warehouse, right? That's going to get hit.
Yeah.
So Foxy's relayed that information. Meanwhile, the superintendent has another code, which is "Don't ever bite your own tail again." From the informant, and this kind of enrages him into having the first of a couple of massive arguments behind plate glass windows with everyone staring. I love the superintendent tells them to get out, but then they only walk 2 steps outside and they're like, "I'm out now."
I'm at the office, but we can hear and see everything. So
I can see and hear everything. I might as well still be in the room, but technically I'm out.
The bit I like is just before that when Tequila goes to I think it's 2 of the other officers and they're talking. And he goes, "Right, here's where it's going down. Call the armory and get the big guns. We're gonna."
Oh yes, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
The guy phoning up yep, we're gonna need the big guns. Yes, we have authorization. Like, of course we do. It's like just get the big guns, all right?
Oh, so good. But anyway, the superintendent really lays into him. He says, "I lost a man in that tea house because of you. And he says you're gonna drop this." Because he wants him to drop the gun running case. He wants him to just bugger off and do other stuff. Because obviously he's protecting his undercover agent.
Yeah.
And I love Tequila says, "You're so full of shit, that. Go outside. There's the John." But anyway, we see the night is falling. And the mob boss contacts Alan. He's like, "Alan, I need you here tonight. I'll send someone to pick you up." So this is kind of Alan's, I guess, his in the eyes of this mob boss, this is his kind of trial by fire, isn't it? Really? Because obviously he's going to be set up to kill his existing boss. We do get the introduction of Alan on his boat, looking at the cranes that he's made, the origami cranes, which we discover later, much like Tequila's music. He makes one every time he kills someone, and I believe Tequila plays that song every time he kills someone, which is all the time. So he's always playing that song.
One of the scenes that was cut out, but I think Tequila does mention it at one point. Is there was actually a scene of Tequila playing over his friend's grave.
Oh, okay, that would have been quite a nice scene, actually.
Yeah, they cut it, so I think it's like you said, it's already a 2-hour movie. I suppose some things had to go.
Yeah, it's already quite a long movie. So we see in Uncle Hoy's warehouse, lots of guns being packed, and it cuts between that and guys on motorbikes looking cool, riding in with sparks everywhere. Don't know why they're all welding in this warehouse. But they are.
It's because they've stripped cars, haven't they? And that's the guns. I'm not sure whether they're packing.
With the guns packed in the cars, then they're taking them out of the cars, putting them into crates. That makes sense. Yeah. You've just solved that question for me. I thought they were just like, we need sparks to be cool. But yes, you're right. They are taking cars apart, so that makes sense. It just so happens to look very cool.
Yeah.
In the car, we get a conversation between the mob boss and Alan. Alan gives him his gun, or tries to give him his gun. and
he says,
he says, "Don't hesitate, no hesitations, no regrets, just go in and do it." And yeah, like you said, Alan says, "I've got my own, I don't need it." So we get the mob boss. What is his name? This mob boss? I keep forgetting his bloody name.
Johnny Wong.
Yes, Johnny Wong. Yeah. So he and his crew basically turn up, murder everyone.
Yep.
In this warehouse, pretty efficiently. They just ride in with Uzis, and Uzis were the gun of the 90s.
Well, I mean,
if there was a villain gun in the 90s, it was an Uzi.
Yeah, I mean, it's high rate of fire.
Yeah,
it's really small and mobile, and it just looks fucking good. So that you can see why people would want to use it in movies.
Spray and pray.
What I love about this movie is it's a gun person's like wet dream, because you get all sorts of stuff in this movie, all kinds of like.
Wow.
There are there are Berettas. There are those Chinese pistols. I forget the name of that they're using. It's wonderful.
I was gonna say I was gonna get to it later because I'm not a gun person, but there is a scene in this movie when Mad Dog, for reasons I can only assume are to look cool, uses a single shot fucking I'm like, why would you use that in this situation? Yeah. Oh, because it looks fucking cool. That's the only reason.
Cool. Yeah. The target pistol.
Completely impractical, but very cool. I think
it's the same target pistol he uses in Hard Target.
It may well be, actually. Yeah, I think you might be right. But it's like, why would you use that here? You're at such a disadvantage, but it looks cool. So fun.
I think that's just it, isn't it? It just looks fucking cool of him.
And it undeniably does look cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and he looks great doing it. But what's one? You get some fucking amazing stunts in this. And
I know, it's so hard. If you want to pick some out, go for it. Because I'm just like, I could spend every scene just being like, this is cool, and this is cool, and that is cool. The grenades are my favorite bit.
The grenades are great. You get the couple ones that I really like are just like simple ones that you just think, God, you have to be such a mad bastard to do that. And there's a couple where they're running across the top of the
cars.
No. What was
the cranes? There's the cranes going over the top, isn't there?
No. Not crates. The containers.
Cranes.
The cargo containers.
The containers. Right.
They're running across.
So I thought you meant the cranes going across the top.
And they get obviously they get shot. They take the hits, and they slide off the containers onto a bunch of empty plastic drums, and you just see the bodies hit these things and slide down to the ground, and you're like, wow, you've got to have some fucking balls to just take that hit and go down. It's
speaking of balls, my favorite shot of this part of the movie, you said Mad Dog was a stuntman in a previous life, or he
was at this point. He was the stunt.
Still was at this point, because holy shit, the grenade scene. So he lobs some grenades into this office, where these guys just are like, "What was that? Oh no, I'm done." The explosion that he runs past, because the windows blow open as he goes under it. You're like, holy shit. Like, that's not CG. That man could have blown his head off. Like, that was insane.
What I love is he's ducked down and he's moving sort of, He's
got the long hair, which really sells it as well.
You see the flames around his hair and you think, fucking hell, how did he not go up there?
I'm assuming he was coated in something, but it's such a cool shot. It's the kind of cool shot you watch, and then afterwards you're like, Jesus, he could have died. That was really dangerous.
Well, I mean, Hong Kong stuntmen are notoriously fucking ballsy. There's that whole attitude of the Hong Kong stuntman. It's like, just get it fucking done.
It's the same attitude. It's the same attitude that America had back in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
By this point, we were like, no, we've got stunt doubles, but these guys are like, nah, just do it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a similar one with Wu, with Joey later on that's great. But one other one I love is when Mad Dog comes in on the bike.
Yeah.
And he goes up that ramp and hits the guy pulls the wheelie and hits that bloke. Like, obviously the bloke he hits is a dummy, but my God, does that look fucking cool as he just leaps off the bike and just punches that poor fucker with the bike. And the bike stunts are so good.
Wow, there's a really cool one in a bit with Tequila.
With shooting the tank
with the shotgun. Yeah,
and these are exploding bikes, and these dudes are just riding them.
It's insane. It's insane.
Absolutely fantastic.
It's so cool.
So fucking good.
So we see that Tequila's arrived. He climbs up into the rafters on one of the cranes or whatever. In this warehouse,
looking like Officer Angel from.
Yes, loading his. Well, I'm wondering if that was a direct reference where he was.
Like, I think so.
I'm gonna get that shot in, because that whole movie is like a reference to cop movies and gun movies. But anyway, Johnny takes all of his goons because they've murdered everyone in the warehouse, and they all clear out to make it look like nothing's happened. I assume they move all of the dead bodies from the entrance as well. They move all the cars out of the way. And then they say, hey, Alan, it's up to you. You're gonna have to do this yourself. It's trial by fire. You're gonna prove yourself today. And I love the shot when everyone leaves and he just kind of leans back on the car with the cigarette in his mouth, and he's just like contemplating, Uncle Hoy, of course, arrives, followed by Grenade to take out cars behind him. And of course, everyone gets out of the car. There's like 1 million people with guns. They all realize that Alan's the traitor. But Uncle Hoy tells his men to put the guns down. He's going to be the voice of reason, and he has a moment with Alan. He looks briefly looks pissed off, and then he just looks really kind of hurt. And I think Tony Leung does a great job with his expressions in this scene. Really conflicted, really it's the kind of thing that in a Western like action movie like this, nonsensical action movie, you just wouldn't get this kind of acting. But some of the acting in this is actually superb in places. Far above what you would expect from a silly action movie. But this moment between Uncle Hoy and Alan, I think, is lovely.
It is the sort of acting you'd get in some of the spaghetti westerns.
That's true. Yeah, for sure.
So you do get. I mean, in a very similar way, you get a lot of very silly stuff going on in those spaghetti westerns, but you also get wonderful character moments as well.
Yes,
and John Woo's very good at getting these amazing performances out of these wonderful actors.
Yeah. As an aside, I'm off to a Sergio Leone weekend this weekend. It's gonna be fun.
Very nice. What are you watching?
It's my friend's favorite Western or favorite film of all time is My Name Is Nobody. So we're going to see that in the cinema, and also The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is on the same day. But there's also Dollars Movies tomorrow, so I don't know whether we're seeing that or not. But the Sunday, we're definitely doing those two for sure.
Very nice.
Where's that? Cool. That is at the Watershed or at Bristol. No, it's in the thing. I think it's in the Sphere thing at Bristol.
Yep. Gotcha.
There's probably still tickets if you're interested. But yeah. Anyway, back to this movie. Uncle Hoy and Alan have this wonderful moment. He basically says, look, shoot me, spare my men, basically. And you see that Alan doesn't want to do it. Alan questions whether he's going to do it. And it's actually Uncle Hoy that's like, no, you have to do this, dude. You have to do this.
Yeah, Uncle Hoy basically says, he always knew that this is going to be his fate. He knew that, gangsters don't live, they live to retire very often, and he says, I'd rather you did it than this scumbag do it. I'd rather somebody with that I know would do it than him.
But spare my men is what he says. Yeah. Spare the men. And then Alan shoots him and he goes down, and the look on Tony Leung's face as he walks past that mob boss with tears in his eyes, but then he smiles to the mob boss because he knows he has to smile to the mob boss. And then you almost get that moment where the look on his face drops and he's like, fuck, I've given myself away.
Yep.
I'm going to have to kill all of them.
It's like a moment of pure terror, isn't it? It's
because he realizes he's given himself away with his facials, and he's like, fuck, I'm going to have to prove myself even more. And that's when he turns around with the Uzi and kills all of his men. And amazing scene. And then of course you get the gas canisters come in, and
although they filmed that scene 2 ways, with the tears in his eyes and without. With the tears in his eyes and with the tears without. And
I'm glad they went with.
They all, I think that the initial thought was, no, we don't want him to show any emotion. We want him to be,
it's so important.
And everybody else was like, no, showing him with a bit of emotion makes the character better. So he did go 100%. With that version.
I totally agree. I think it's one of the best scenes in the movie. Needs to be there. So anyway, after this brief bit of emotion, back to the action. Tequila comes in swinging on a rope with Uzis, just obliterating an army's worth of men on his way down. It's so cool. And then, of course, just pulls this shotgun right out of his ass and just starts blasting everyone. Oh my god. Such a cool. I mean, like, everyone's entrance in these movies is so good. Like, so good. Just when you think, like, oh, that's the best entrance we're going to see in this movie, along comes another.
In comes Chammy swinging from the rafters.
Oh god, it's at once the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen, and also the coolest goddamn thing you've ever seen. like it just doesn't matter how ridiculous it is, because it's so
a very fine balance.
it really is, and I couldn't even explain to you how this film. Well, it's the style. It just pulls it off with pure style.
And I think that's one of the things that Wu, I think, has said about the way he directs movies is that he would rather have the emotion than the realism. He wants to. He wants to sort of. He doesn't care whether it makes enough sense as long as it's inspires or it's the I get to sound a bit wanky. It's the art of cinema. It's that showing what's going on and having something to look at and to do with the performers. Yeah, it's great.
And you can see that throughout his certainly his early career. And with things like The Killer, you see it. With Bullet in the Head, you see it. That kind of like, this is kind of ridiculous, but the emotion and the
I mean,
the characters are there.
We'll probably get to Bullet in the Head because
I really love that movie. I really love that movie.
That movie has some scenes in that just teeter on overblown and almost lean into silly,
big time.
But the heart on that movie is like, my god,
it's the perfect example of that John Woo. This is very silly, but the heart is makes it fine. It somehow works. Anyway, gunfight. Mad Dog and Tequila have a big gunfight. You get the cool bit with Tequila pushing the car as Mad Dog just oozes it.
Yes.
We also get, obviously at this point, Alan going around. Tequila's trying to shoot Alan. Mad Dog's trying to shoot Tequila. It's just chaos. It's chaos. Everyone else dies. I'm pretty sure that Tequila, apart from Johnny, Tequila murders everyone in this room apart from Mad Dog and Alan. Oh no, actually, Alan tells him to get out, doesn't he? He tells the mob boss to leave.
He tells Johnny to go, so Johnny gets away, basically.
Mad Dog also escapes in the chaos, and then it's just Alan and Tequila, who both jump at each other, pull pistols, and point at each other. Now, Tequila pulls his pistol, but he's out of ammo. And there's this great moment where you see Alan smile. He's like, I've got you. But then the realization of like, oh shit, I can't. No, like I'm not gonna do that. And that again, you get that like the smile of like I've got you, and then the fear of like, but I don't want to kill you. Like, what am I gonna do? It's great emotion in this.
And from Joey, you get that sort of that moment.
He
of
knows he's dead. Yeah,
he's toast. He's done for.
Yeah. But of course he doesn't pull the trigger and instead runs away into the smoke, the gun smoke. Disappears into the gun smoke. And then we see Alan kind of, dealing with his injuries back on his boat. We see some more origami being made, some more cranes.
He's got some wonderful pictures as well of it's a French artist. What was his name?
Yes, they kind of line his wall, don't they?
Gustave Adolphe Mossa, who his painting absolutely wonderful.
He also does something I would love to do at certain times of my life during high stress situations. He goes out on a boat to the middle of the bay and just screams.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish I could do that some days. That would make me feel a lot better, I think. If I could just go to the
I used to do it in woods. Woods are great for that sort of thing.
Woods are great for that kind of thing. That is true. But anyway, Tequila heads to see the superintendent again. And this time he's got an artist's sketch or whatever of Alan. And he's like, who's this? Who is this man? And he's like, he looks like a triad or whatever he says. Obviously, he's not going to say he's an informant. And so Tequila says, fine. If he's a triad, when I see him, I'm going to blow his fucking brains out. I think he says he's going to be a dead duck or something. He's like, right, if I see him, he's a dead duck. And then, of course, the superintendent's like, no, don't, please, can you just drop this whole case? Move on. Do something else. And of course,
shoot the obvious undercover officer.
Yeah. And he says, look, back at the tea house, you killed one undercover officer,
Yeah.
And he says, you're so self-righteous, but maybe you should make a sacrifice yourself. What have you sacrificed? And he's like, what the fuck do you think I've been doing this entire time? Like, sacrifice? What are you talking about? Like, we've all sacrificed, And he says, like, or the superintendent says, look, regardless, you're under my command. You're going to do what I tell you to do. And he says, like, cops need search warrants. You need to write reports when you use a gun. And you're like, oh my God. At that point, the thought of how much paperwork this man would have to do.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. That's the rest of your career, writing paperwork.
How many triads did you kill today? What is the running total of you?
Like 104 pieces of paper today only.
Yeah.
And we only saw part of his day. We don't know what he did the rest of the day. So, But, in any case, obviously, I it's clear Tequila knows he's an undercover cop. He just wants his superintendent to be bloody clear with him about it and just be open about it. And the superintendent say something like, if you don't fall in line, you're going to be unemployed. And he just says like, oh, I'm shaking, and just walks out like a child.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, so you get some more moments with Foxy in the jazz bar. Now he's turning up to cop jazz bars. This man deserved to die. He's a very, very sloppy informant.
He's not very.
He's not very good.
Conscious of his movements, is he? Really?
Not really. You're literally in the jazz bar where this cop that everyone hates is known to play every night. But in any case, he comes back with a better sketch of your man Alan.
Yeah.
We then get the fantastic scene, as I said. They echo it. They pay homage to it in the wonderful Infernal Affairs. also starring Tony Long, where Alan and the superintendent meet, and they talk about the deal and what happened the previous night, and then he's given a gift. He's given this lighter, and he says, "Oh, it's for your birthday." And Alan says, "Oh, I'd forgotten." And he's like, "I don't know which character I'm playing anymore. I don't know who I am anymore. Like, am I the policeman, or am I the criminal? I some days I just can't tell anymore, you know." Wonderful scene.
Yeah. And it's really cool, and I like that, you know, that you can, again, it almost it feels like a very father son relationship here too. It's you know, it's like the superintendent is trying to keep the memory of him alive. He's trying to have, you know, he's trying to keep who he really
remember
is.
Who you are. Yeah.
He's trying to sort of, like, you know, I'm holding this for who you are. I'm holding for you for when you come back, sort of thing. You know. Because he's the only one who's going to know.
Yep. Which again, Infernal Affairs kind of touches on that in a bigger way. But yeah, wonderful scene we get here. Alan then heads back to his boat, and is almost immediately set upon by Tequila, who jumps down the stairs and puts a gun in his face. And I think, like, this is like half like Tequila's like, "Hey, you know, I found you," and two, like, "Hey, now we're even, because I could have shot you but didn't shoot you." And he says, "You know, what are you? You're not really a criminal, but you're also not really a cop." He's like, "You know, what's your rank?" Did he say, like, sergeant, inspector, joker? It's like, "Should I salute you? Like, what's the deal?" And he says, "To you, I'm a thief. To my mother, I'm a son.
I'm a son,
And to them, I'm a triad," or something like that, isn't it? It's a lovely scene. And you know, they have this brief moment where he talks about these paper cranes. He's like, "Why have you got all these paper cranes? Are you bored?" And he says, "Well, look, you know, every time I take a life, I make a crane." And of course, Tequila says, I do the same. I have a song that I always play at the jazz lounge, and I always play it every time someone dies."
People must get really bored of that song.
Like I said, they are the Cantina band. Just
they are
doing that over and over again.
The same song again.
Yeah. And of course, ultimately, Tequila says, "Hey, why don't we work together and bring down Johnny together?" And Alan says, "Look, I don't have time. You know, I don't have time to deal with your shit, basically." And I kind of agree. Tequila is a loose cannon, like clearly, like, I kind of understand it.
Yeah, his whole thing is that he's a dirty Harry cop. He's that, you know.
Yeah. Yes. But of course, the conversation is interrupted by a shotgun blast to the back. He's through the skylight. A man shoots a shotgun.
While they're talking, you get the cars pull up and them running along the jetty and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the last remnants of Hoy's men, who escaped in the chaos of Tequila's entrance.
Alan does remarkably well for someone who is shot in the back with a shotgun from above. But he's very functional, as is the case in these movies. Quite often they're shot, but they keep going until they don't need to anymore.
I mean, he does, at least. There's a number.
He winces a bit, and
and he does a number of sort of rolling away, and you know, he's not quite as mobile as he usually is. He does take
That's
a couple
true.
Of hits, you know, have a couple of hits, and
I mean, I don't know how the fuck that guy missed, but
no.
I mean, like, but whatever. Anyway, so anyway, big gunfight. They kill the guys on the boat, and then one of the guys starts escaping down the jetty, but Tequila shoots him in the leg. And as Tequila's going up to question the guy, Alan runs up and he sees Johnny's cars coming. He's like, Johnny's coming. You need to leave. Like, you need to get out of here. And he says, well, how will I know? How will I get in touch with you? And he's like, I'll send you a crane. He's like, okay, fine. Yeah, fine. And then he jumps into the water. And then, of course, Alan kills the guy before, just as Johnny arrives. And Alan's like, oh god, you know, you're hurt, but you're my guy now. You know, you've taken out the last of his gang. You're totally in with me. And he's like, right, we'll get you to hospital. Don't worry, we'll get you all the treatment you could possibly need.
Yeah. And we did forget that when they in the warehouse, when Johnny's men are loading up weapons into ambulances that we see at one point.
Yeah, that's a little bit, isn't it, coming up?
No, I think we see it earlier. I think it's in the.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I think we see the ambulances in the Uncle Hoy bit.
Oh, maybe you're right. You may be right.
It's the first clue.
I know I know we definitely see it later because Tequila spots them doing it. But you may be right. Maybe it does happen earlier. It does make me wonder now that you've said about this hospital and the fact that the original plot was this baby killer. I wonder whether they already, paid to have this hospital, to use this hospital, and then they were like, "Fuck, we need to just write scenes around a hospital now because like half of the budget is blown on us getting this hospital set or a hospital to actually film in." So make it,
rather like the tea house. They got the tea house because it was going to be blown up.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So they got the tea house. And Wu loved the staircase because we didn't mention the really cool thing of Tequila sliding down a banister shooting the guy. And yeah, as soon as they'd finished filming there, that place was demolished. And this the hospital was an old Coca-Cola bottle factory.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so they had that when and I think
you couldn't tell. Later. They did a good job. It does look like a hospital.
Job of making it look like a hospital, yeah.
I genuinely thought it was a hospital that they had some wing that they were able to film in. Yeah, or maybe like you said, like a hospital that was being demolished or something, like like Dark Knight or whatever. But yeah, so he's taken to hospital, and we can see that clearly Johnny has some swing over this place. He tells the nurses, he's like, yeah, no one's to know he's here. He's nobody. Do you understand? And he says to Alan, we know that Fox betrayed us. We'll deal with him. Don't worry. His time will come. And he says, of course, Alan says, I'll deal with him. And he says, no, you should rest first. You leave it to us. And yeah, so he's kind of left at hospital, to kind of have that time to contemplate. He's kind of left on his own, isn't he? As Johnny leaves and whatever. And it's not long. I mean, they don't really spend much time with it. They're like, yeah, he's better now. Moving on. Like I don't know how much time's passed, but then suddenly he's fine.
They sprayed him with the magic spray, and he's fine.
Yeah. He's good to go. And of course, Johnny approaches him, and he's like, "Are you sure it was Fox?" And Johnny says, "Yeah, it was definitely Fox." And of course, Alan's like, "Oh, you bastard! I'm gonna tell him." And Johnny says he's gonna kill him. And again, you get that great look, Tony Leung.
Yep.
It's that look of like, he's an informant. I don't want him to die. He's got that like, shit, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this situation as well.
Yeah.
And of course we come across Foxy getting the shit kicked out of him by Mad Dog, who is just
absolutely pommeling the poor fucker.
Yeah. It's a miracle he doesn't die from this beating alone. But
I mean, he probably would. Under normal circumstances, he definitely would.
Yeah, that's true. And so of course, Alan turns up in time, and Alan starts getting involved. He pretends to start beating him up, but of course, as he gets him in a headlock, he slips the lighter into his top pocket, kicks the shit out of him, and then shoots, because he's such a good shot. Shoots the lighter. of course, it makes it look like he's dead. He then falls into the water, and you know, it was a good job, because you kind of get the impression later. I mean, they do say that the lighter deflected most of the incoming bullet.
The doctor says that the lighter saved his life.
So you get the impression that he's basically almost dying from just the beating. It had nothing to do with the bullet at this point. Obviously, he does survive the beating briefly.
Yeah. Briefly.
he's in hospital for a bit.
Hey, man, he gets an extra 10 minutes in the movie at least.
He does. Yeah, he does. So he makes it to the jazz bar. I don't know how he makes it to the jazz bar. He must have crawled there. But he says, he comes in covered in blood, and he's like, Maple Hospital. That's where the guns are. He's like, that's where his guns are. And he, of course, Tequila tells Greg, he's like, hey, call my girlfriend, tell her to meet me at the hospital. We're going to hospital. So off they go. Now with a legitimate reason to obviously go to hospital anyway, because Foxy needs medical assistance, but also because now he's been informed that the guns are here.
Yep. And I think you do get an early setup for the fact that this hospital has a massive maternity wing.
Oh yeah,
the cameras go along the maternity wing with like a good 20 odd babies.
Is 70% babies in this hospital.
Yeah.
It's been a very fertile year in Hong Kong. But I mean, I can believe there probably are just like 1 million babies in hospitals. I would have thought. Having never had a baby, I've never been to that wing, but I imagine there are a lot at any given time.
I don't think I've been in a maternity wing since my sister was born, and that was fucking years ago. That was a very long time ago.
Yeah. So, anyway, Foxy's getting seen to. It's not looking good for a while. You kind of assume he's going to die in hospital here. The way they kind of make it out. But of course, Johnny is then informed that Foxy's been taken to the hospital. He tells Alan, he's like, somehow Palpatine survived. Somehow Foxy survived, and he's like, right, and he says to Alan, go there, because Alan says, I'll finish him off, and he says, all right, go there and kill that cop too. Now, of course, Alan goes to get some flowers, and as he goes to get flowers, Alan says, I'm not convinced, put extra guys with him. And you're not sure whether it's like, I'm not convinced he can do the job, or I'm not convinced that he's with us. Either or, I guess, at this stage.
I think a bit of both,
I think Mad Dog doesn't believe him for a fucking second. Mad Dog gives him looks of like, you're not on our side.
From the first moment you see him with when he comes into the meeting near the beginning.
Yeah, Mad Dog's suspicious.
Mad Dog's like not buying it for a moment. He's suspicious of him throughout the whole movie.
Yeah. So obviously Alan turns up at the hospital with the white roses, which of course the Tequila's girlfriend sees. And she realizes, she puts two and two together, that's probably the informant. Because I'm assuming she's never met him in person. I think the superintendent's the only person that knows that he's an undercover agent,
because
knows what he looks
Tequila introduces them later.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So she definitely hasn't met him in person. Yeah, so that's going on. Meanwhile, Foxy's like, hey, can you just... I know I'm dying, but could you turn me oxygen off so I can have a cigarette? Which I thought was a really sweet scene when they're like, you'll blow up. And he's like, turn it off then. Just stop the oxygen, it's fine. And then, of course, the nurse comes in and it's like, who's smoking in here? And he's like, that's why I'm putting it out, because it's dangerous, don't worry.
It's just me. It's fine. No, just a little...
So anyway, he gets the full details now that Foxy's survived for now. That the guns are in the basement. And he says, Tequila says, "Hey, if I crack this case, I'll give you 10%." And Foxy almost knowingly says, "I won't make it." He's like, "It's up to you. The show's all yours." I guess he knows. He's like, "I'm such a shit informant, guys. I'm definitely gonna get killed. Like, there's no way I'm surviving this."
Yeah. I'm already fitted for my coffin. It's fine.
Yeah. If it was a Western, they would have come out and started measuring him already.
Yeah. You can hear the old guy banging the coffin up in the background.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the world's least convincing cop, Mad Dog, turns up with a fake badge and is like, "Hey, me, one-eyed, half-face scar, two-faced man. I'm policeman's. Can I come in?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, go for it." Of course, officer. Off you go.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you look like you should be a patient in this hospital. You look terrible.
Well, a patient, maybe not in this hospital, but maybe some sort of psychiatric ward somewhere. But
that's true. That is true. So Alan heads into one of the rooms, and of course, no, he sees he's being tailed, doesn't he? He sees he's being tailed by two of Johnny's men, and so he fakes bursting into the door and he shoots a pillow, I think, and then the guys come in. Tequila's behind the door, and they both kill the two guys. Tequila, of course, takes the piss out of the flowers because he had the flower box. And he says, "Where's Foxy?" And he says, "Oh, I put him in, another room." He
sent him the crane, didn't he? Did we mention that?
Oh no, he didn't mention that. He did send in the crane. Yeah,
he sent the crane beforehand. So Tequila's already moved Foxy out of the bed. So that's why he shoots the bed. Because,
that's right. Sorry. Yes, you're right. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Alan wants to know where the arsenal is. Tequila won't tell him. Tequila's like, "Hey, yeah, let's do this together."
He's being a real dick here.
Tequila is a dick the whole movie.
I mean, he is a dick.
Yes, he's on the right side, but he's a total dick the whole time. That is
true. But I think this one he's being particularly belligerent, like almost just to make it difficult for Alan.
I get the feeling that more than anything, he blames Alan for the superintendent. Like, he hates the superintendent, really, and he's like just blaming Alan because he's a product of the superintendent.
Yeah.
But anyway, he during the argument, they argue long enough that Mad Dog manages to get hold of Foxy and he slits his throat. And there's that great shot of the nurse giving that guy the medicine and just blood all up the window.
Massive blood gush all across the blinds.
Such a good shot.
Awesome.
And then you have that shot where you're like, "That's ridiculous. Why is he bothering to hide the body of Foxy when there's blood everywhere?" But then you see they immediately start cleaning the blood up. There are people working in this hospital that are just clearly on payroll to clean up, and they're immediately wiping down the blood.
But poor Foxy, he gets unceremoniously chucked down the bloody laundry chute. Poor bastard.
He deserved it. He's such a bad informant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean,
he was way too stupid. He had it coming for sure. But yes, anyway, Foxy's dead. And Alan and Tequila chase after Mad Dog. I love you get the nurse walking past with a patient, and she's looking at all of the blood all over the window and the floor, and the guard's like, "There's nothing to see here. Keep walking." It's like there's blood everywhere.
It's not just a little bit. It's a massive trail of it and a huge splat along the window.
Yeah. So anyway, as they're chasing Mad Dog exits through the garage, and they see from one of the ambulances. They're bringing in some guns on stretchers. He knows this because they drop some of them, don't they? They drop one of the stretchers, and it's obviously not a body. It's something
the way
else.
The noise it makes and the way it moves is clearly not a body.
Yeah. Tequila's girlfriend heads to the maternity wing to see all the babies, and they have this dreamy sequence of her looking at babies being bathed, and she's all like, "Oh, lovely babies."
Yeah.
And you just like, I mean, if this is the first time you've ever watched this movie, by now you should be starting to get a feeling that this is going to be bad. This is, you've seen enough in this movie to know this ain't gonna be good. This happening in a hospital with this many babies, it's gonna be bad. Anyway, they all meet in the elevator, and as you said, Tequila introduces Alan to his lady, and he says, "Oh, she hates white roses," and she's like, "Actually, I quite like them." She's like, "You have lovely taste." But yeah, so
did you say something along the lines of you should have learned by now or something to get me roses or something? And
yeah,
is something along the lines of, "Oh, I've never sent her roses"? It's like, yeah, well, you probably should have.
Yeah. So he sends her back up, doesn't he, to meet with the superintendent and deal with the patients.
Yeah.
And call for backup, basically, while they go down.
Well, he says to her, I will send you a sign when you need to evacuate the building. And she says, "What will you send me?" He says, "I'll send you he smiles and says, "I'll send you some flowers."
Yeah,
and then
he somehow magically knows the amount of time it will take for her to check her pocket to find the flower. So he's like, I know my girlfriend. It will take her at least 45 minutes to put her hand in that pocket.
Yeah, he slips the single white rose into her pocket.
Yeah,
and off they go, and off she goes.
Yeah. So they head down to the morgue, and they start looking in each of the refrigerated units, finding bodies, until they find one that seems to be locked. And of course, the middle one there has the two buttons on it, and it's a big door.
They notice on the records, don't they, that there are, was it four of the morgue, the mortuary slabs are always empty.
Oh, that's right. They look at the records, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I love his girlfriend's upstairs trying to pretend that she's ill. She's like, "I got flu or something." Yeah. And they're like, "Oh yeah, well wait there."
She says, "I've got asthma," isn't it? I think.
Oh, is it asthma? Yeah. and then the nurse comes along and she's like, "The doctor will see you now." And she's like, "Let the other people get seen first." And she looks around and it's like the room's totally empty. It's just her. And she's like, "Oh shit." But then of course the superintendent turns up as a dressed as a doctor. And says, "Play the part. You're meant to be undercover, for God's sake."
Yeah, I really think you should see a doctor. I think she says, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So they Tequila and Co. And Alan find their way down into through the secret door, in the mortuary, and they come across another door that they can't get through. Try as they might.
It's like a massive airlock, basically, isn't it?
Yeah, I do love when Alan smashes the controls and Tequila's like, "Yeah, throw a tantrum, that always works." He's like, "That always opens doors." And then Alan's like, "Why are you such a dickhead?" Which is like, that's a valid question.
A very valid question.
Like, you are a dickhead. And he's like, "Why are you even involved? This has nothing to do with you." And Tequila's like, "The way I see it, at this stage, it's got everything to do with me. And like, my partner's dead, And he's like, stop looking to place blame and get this door open. And they try numerous ways, right? Because they put the gunpowder in the pipe.
I always thought that was one of the weirdest, sort of strangest sort of decisions they made.
I was never sure what the plan was.
No, I don't.
Because I was like, because I didn't think there was any indication that there was wires in there. I assumed there'd be gas in there.
It's a pipe, isn't it?
But there are wires in there.
And he unscrews one of the, like a bracket.
He uses the handcuffs to unscrew the bracket.
Yeah, like, who knew handcuffs could be so versatile? He uses them to.
I thought that was quite
take
cool.
off the bolt, and then he takes off the top of the bullets, the actual, the head of the bullets to get the gunpowder out.
Yeah.
And then they put the gunpowder in the hole that they've made. Then they put a bullet in.
And then he shoots the bullet.
And you get that really cool. I love that the build up he has
when he's shaking and then he looks away and just
he sort of breathes and he shakes his hand out and then, which I think doesn't Mal do that in?
He does in Firefly or Serenity.
Firefly, yeah,
it might be Serenity or Firefly, one or the other.
Yeah. So and he shoots it. That blows up and there's all these wires in there and nothing happens. Like,
well, this is the weird thing, because I was like, first of all, I'm like, why would wires be in there? It looks like it should be a gas pipe. But he shoots it and there are wires in there, but then they don't do anything. So then you're like, what was the point of any of this? But fine.
And then Alan sees that there's another another cable the other side of the room. And
but he rips it out of the wall.
Yeah, he rips it off the wall. And then puts them into the other cables.
Electrocutes himself.
Electrocutes himself and shorts the door.
I don't know how any of that fucking worked, but
I'm sure
whatever.
That feels like they were desperate to find a way.
Add
they
this out.
couldn't quite decide what to do and just made that up on the spot, because that's what that feels like.
They basically needed the imagery of Tequila seeing his partner die and see it in Alan when Alan's getting electrocuted. And they worked back from there. They were like, how can Alan get electrocuted? by doing something really fucking stupid for no reason.
Again, it's the thing about it's the sort of continual thing with this movie. It's like there was dumb shit that they just do cool things with.
Yeah.
So you get the sort of the build up with the shaking of the hand, and then you get the sort of him going down after being electrocuted, and you get the superimposed shots of his partner getting gunned down and stuff, and you get Chowie's like shocked face as as he goes in. It's brilliant for a dumb scene.
Yeah, and then Tequila does like CPR. I guess he breaks his fucking ribs and he's like, oh god, resuscitate him.
Yeah. He's broken all of his ribs.
He's broken all of his ribs, but he's fine. He's awake now. Meanwhile, lucky for them, Mad Dog's brought this single shot pistol or sawed-off rifle or something, and he's like, I'm going to slowly load this pistol.
It's a target pistol he's got. It's fucking. It's a cool.
I mean, it's very cool. But when you're dealing with people that have guns with clips,
where was his Uzi at this point? That would have just. It would have sorted the situation quite quickly.
No. You should have turned up with a flintlock and just started, But anyway, it's funny, but it's cool. Like you said, it's just the rule of cool, right? I mean, it looks cool as fuck, so that's why.
The rule of cool film in this film is turned up to 11.
It really is. It's one of the coolest movies ever made. I mean, let's be honest, it is. It's so cool. And it sounds like I'm taking the piss out of this movie a lot. It's purely because it's so silly, but it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. As I said, it strikes an. I think for me, I'm sure
it's
there
the
are
perfect
other people
balance. It is.
Yeah, I agree. Perfect balance. But I'm sure for there are a number of people that fucking hate it and don't think.
I'm sure.
That balance. But it's for me, and I think many other people, it has a wonderful balance of the absurd. And
I think so.
And the brilliant.
And speaking of absurd, Mad Dog Spider-Man's his way into the ceiling and then comes down on chains and starts kung fuing them.
Yes.
Which is awesome. Meanwhile,
again,
Tequila's
that
girlfriend...
felt very much like he's like, what can you do? And he's like, well, I can come down from the ceiling.
Well, I am a stunt man. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, Tequila's girlfriend, right on cue, finds the flower 45 minutes later, and therefore that's you're like, how would you know it would take her that long to find the flower?
Yeah.
Fine, whatever. But yeah, so big martial arts fight going on, and of course Johnny is watching on, right? Because he turns up and he starts looking through the cameras at that point.
Yeah.
Big old fight going on. Tequila starts like punching Mad Dog's bad eye.
You also get that bit,
blood on the patch, and
there's that bit where when he first turns up, Johnny says to one of the guards, "Make sure no one gets through. Don't let any new people in. Don't And he basically, this poor guard immediately fucks up by letting Tequila and Alan through.
Yep.
And then later on, when Johnny's watching on the cameras, the guard comes in and says, "Yeah, we fucked up."
Oops. Meanwhile, the superintendent is saying, you have an armory in your basement with a bajillion guns in it. We've got the worst cop in all of Hong Kong who loves shooting guns. Yeah. Everyone in this hospital is going to die. We need to evacuate this hospital. And he's like, no, I can't just go on one superintendent telling me people are going to die. I think everyone should stay here. Yep. It's like, no, what are you talking about? Get them out.
And I love that. Wasn't this the superintendent says, there are 300 lives at stake in this thing, and then when he says, "I'll castrate you."
Yeah. So Johnny.
Teresa basically goes out and she hits the fire alarm with her shoe.
That's right. Because he's like, I couldn't possibly evacuate them. She goes out, hits the fire alarm. He's like, okay, we're evacuating.
Yeah, we're done.
Now there's a fire. Good God.
Yeah. And he's still
even though it's so obvious that she just did that.
Yes.
He's just like, oh well.
He's still trying to say, no, it's a false alarm. Go back to your rooms. It's like, for fuck's sake, dude. You're gonna get. I mean, most of the people here are gonna die, but you're gonna get even more of them killed. Some of them might have made it. You never know.
I mean, arguably more lives would have been saved if he actually got them out. Because this is actually just before. Because now, a few moments later, is when Johnny's like, lock them in downstairs and fill the room with gas. Mad Dog escapes and the gas starts coming in. And then he starts saying, I just think all the innocent people need to die as well.
Yeah.
But he hadn't said it at that point. If the doctor had just let them all go at that point, they might have got away with it. Or at least a lot more people could have got out.
It's basically a case of, you know what? I think I don't like the fact that Chow Yun-fat's got a massive body count in this movie. I want a bigger body count than Chow Yun-fat.
Yeah, I mean, I love, there's that moment where you're like, Johnny's going to be clever and he's going to be like, oh, we're going to use these people as human shields. And it's like, no, he's just like, nah, kill him. Yeah, it's like, whoa. Like, okay.
No, just murder everybody.
And you know what? They fucking do.
Yep.
I mean, that's the thing. You kind of think like, oh, well, don't worry. Tequila and Alan will get there before they start gunning down innocent people. No.
No. Not at all, no.
No. They start gunning. There's a guy, I wasn't exaggerating earlier, there's a guy with a grenade launcher or a missile launcher.
Yep.
Who just blows up patients as they're leaving the hospital. Mm-hmm. You've got guards with machine guns and assault rifles just gunning people down in the courtyard and on the stairs.
And on stairwells and everything, yep.
It is carnage. And
absolute carnage.
It's at this point that you realise you've got about 30 minutes left of this movie.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my God.
Yep.
You're like, oh, I think this is the final gun battle, but I've still got 30 minutes left. And they're clearly, this is not the kind of film that's going to do an epilogue. This is the end of the movie is just a gunfight now.
Yeah, we're not going to have a long drawn out epilogue on this one.
No, we're not. So, I mean, everybody gets shot. We get Tequila's girlfriend meets Johnny. she's got the baby at this point because she tries to take one of the babies out.
Yeah, I think it's not. I don't think it's not Johnny. It's just one of the triads, isn't it?
Was it one of the triads? I can't remember.
Yeah, he basically he tells her she's got the baby at this point, and he tells her that put the baby down and get the fuck out. And she slaps him, and you think, Jesus, love, you're gonna get fucking shot. How the dude doesn't shoot her, I do not know, but he doesn't shoot her. And if
she was anyone else,
yeah.
Oh no, you're right, because Johnny does the camera. They have the camera talk, don't they?
Yeah.
In the basement, and they basically all cards on the table. Alan's like, I've been after you forever, you know. And you know, Johnny's like, I've got more hostages than hot dinners. It's like, well, not if you keep shooting, you don't. Like you. I mean, half of them had died already. And then he says, next I'll put my arsenal in your police station.
Yes, next time I'll put it. Yeah, next time I'll put it under the police station. Yeah.
And Tequila's like, we've already got an arsenal. Look, he just blows the camera up with a shotgun. And yeah, so police turn up, which I don't think is helping at this point. Well, you know, like more police turn up, and I'm like, it's just more guns in shooting innocent people. I don't think you're helping. I think you're making this worse.
We have established that as well as the superintendent, there are a lot of other.
There's undercover cops, and yeah.
You know, they're dressed as patients, and they're dressed as doctors and nurses and stuff. So there are other cops, you know, among them.
Yeah.
Because a couple of them do shoot back at the guards.
They do.
And stuff.
They do, and yeah. So the hospital.
One on the stairs gets fucking minced. He does the slowest gun pull and gets absolutely minced.
Yes.
On the stairway, the poor bastard.
Yeah. Oh god. So they do actually stop murdering. I think they murder everyone in the courtyard, but they do stop murdering the people on the inside and take them hostage. They do start to round people up. I guess their plan is just to scare people into doing what they want by killing half of them, and it works.
It's certainly a best way to spread terror, I guess.
And yeah, so in any case, Tequila and Alan escape. I think they blow a hole in the morgue wall, don't they? And come out. They come because they come sliding out through the fucking fridge, don't they? Oh, it's so cool.
Tequila realizes that the wall is where the other drawers,
the refrigerated units are. Yeah.
So they blow that wall, and then
they come sliding out. It's so good.
It's so fucking cool the way they slide out, and Alan slides out and rolls along the table before doing his shooting, and it's like absolute chef's kiss. It's just
there should be an alternate cut of that shot where the bad guys are in that room and they just hear Tequila's face smash into the fucking locked door. Dunk.
Yeah, and then just open up on them and end of movie.
Oh, so good though. Anyway, it's around this time that Mad Dog with Johnny is like, I know I've been the most evil man in this movie until this point, but you have surpassed me, sir, and I'm not comfortable. You're making even me uncomfortable.
He basically says, you know, in what we do, there are lines that you don't cross. You know, there are triads and there are cops. They're all fair game.
They're fair game. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, innocent people, that's different. That, you know, they're not. We shouldn't be killing normal, you know, innocent people here.
Yeah, he has something of a fucked up moral code.
Yeah,
somewhere, and this violates it. We see, unbelievably, and he gets shot for his hard work. We should say, Mad Dog gets shot by Johnny. Meanwhile, for the first time in this movie, and it does not last long, it lasts about 10 seconds, Alan and Tequila are like, hey, maybe we should be stealthy and use silencers.
Yes!
Just like one time.
Yeah.
But oh no, it looks like they've been taken hostage. But of course, you can tell what's going on.
Yeah.
One of the guards comes in with tequila into the room full of hostages. And of course it's Alan. Alan's dressed up as a guard. Tequila
they
kind of
the amongst the rounded up civilians. There are the superintendent and the other cops, and they signal them that that they're about to perform a stupid move.
I'm about to
get everybody killed.
I'm about to slide on my knees like a kid at a wedding and just blast people with this shotgun. It works though. Because they all duck at the same time and grab people, and it's just the bad guys there, and then suddenly the room's empty, and it's just, I don't know how it works, but it does. Again, it's cool. Who cares? Logic is well and truly out the window at this point. It doesn't matter. It's just cool now. Yeah. So anyway, hostages are mostly safe. I think a few more get obliterated on the way out. But the police are now fighting back. There's fighting in the hallways. Less civilians, more cop versus triad at this point.
Yep.
And you kind of feel like this must be every triad in Hong Kong versus every cop in Hong Kong at this point. Like, is there anyone left after this?
You definitely feels like it should be.
I mean, good God. Just chaos. And I love that, like, Alan is still dressed as one of the bad guys but doesn't get shot. It's just carnage. SWAT turn up, or whatever their equivalent of SWAT is, turns up to save the babies. They all come in.
You get that scene with Teresa's stuffing gets tequila and their stuffing cotton butt into the baby's ears,
which I thought was cute. I liked that.
Yeah, it is.
I appreciated that.
And then there's like, the only way we can escape with the babies is through the windows. So they put these like scarf or blankets, I guess, around the little incubator. They ain't not incubators. So I guess just
I don't know what they are.
No idea what you call those baby bed
units.
Things.
Baby units.
The baby units. You get these great bits where the SWAT guys are abseiling
baby tray. Yeah,
baby tray. Yeah, they're abseiling down the side of the building, and triads are just poking out of the window, just gunning them down as they're quick, grab the baby.
It's just carnage.
It's absolute carnage.
Oh God! And I'm sure some of these babies got shot. I mean, not like
I was just saying. I'm sure at least one of those babies did not make it.
It's rough.
And also, I'm wondering how many of those babies did not go to the right parents that day.
Well, how many of those babies still had parents at this point? I mean, Jesus, the amount of people that got killed, I don't know.
There is that too.
Anyway, Tequila and Alan now are like, okay, pretty sure the babies are gone. Pretty sure the innocents are gone. Let's just murder everyone in this building. And so, Alan's got the MP5, Johnny's got the assault rifle and the shotgun, and they're just walking through the corridors, just obliterating people.
We do get that scene between Mad Dog and Alan as well, where they...
Oh, yes!
Before Mad Dog gets killed, they get that really cool standoff between they're either side of a group of patients and nurses, and they just stop and they put their guns down, and I love that slow way they get down, they put the guns down, and they're like, and Alan's like, quick, go, and I love the way Mad Dog doesn't say anything. He just starts moving his hand for them to dismiss them, and that's when Johnny comes in and just fucking murders them all.
Yeah,
and then Mad Dog says, "This is beyond. This is too much now. This is getting." And Johnny just like, "Fuck you," and kill. That's when Mad Dog gets killed.
Yeah. I mean, a miracle it hasn't happened up to this point, but in the gunfight, Alan turns quickly and accidentally shoots a cop.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed that this hadn't happened more in this chaos.
Yeah.
But obviously, this is the last thing Alan wanted. Alan is shocked. They make it to the lift, but obviously Alan is destroyed.
And I like it. I love it. Initially, Alan's like, I shot a cop, and Tequila's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. Didn't.
He said, I saw his ID. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
Yeah. He's like, no, you didn't. It's not didn't happen. And obviously later he tells him that he did, but at this point, like, no, you didn't. And one of the, so there's he's got like the glass in his face. Alan's got that glass in his face. There's a bit where you can they shoot through through I think there's a window and a door. And the glass goes over Tony Leung, and you can see him like go. He puts his hand over his face. Tony Leung actually got glass in his eye.
I'm not surprised. Some of the stunts in this movie are just insane.
I'm surprised that more didn't happen, but yeah, he got had to go to hospital and had some time off to get back, but pretty much came straight back and just got on with it. And apparently they put the glass in his face to sort of as a sort of, there you go, you have some glass in your face as a sign that that's what happened.
Yeah. So they do have a brief moment where they go down the lift. They have a bit more of a gunfight, and then they're like, he's like, did I kill a cop? And he's like, yes, you did. And he's like, oh, fuck it. And then they just go in and start shooting.
Yeah. And I think we talked about this on when we were discussing the killer, but that whole scene where they do the gun battle down the corridor, they get into the lift doors close, and then you get that scene with them. They only had so much time to film this thing, and they could really only do it like once. So when they go in the lift, the doors close. The crew then had to come out, sweep that bloody corridor, clean it up, and get it redressed in the time it took them to do that scene, so that when the doors open, because it's not a lift at all, it's it's just a little room, and they come out and it's the same corridor, but obviously it's a different floor, and you can tell because there were a number of scorch marks on the ground and a few sort of things that they didn't quite clean up well enough. Yeah, but I absolutely adore that they just did that. They just went, it's a different floor, it's great.
I love, because you brought it up, which is perfect. The guy who slapped Tequila's girl, sorry, she slapped him and he didn't shoot her.
Yeah.
Either he or someone else tries that on her now, and she just shoots him straight away.
It's the same. It's the same.
It's the same guy, which is fantastic. I wondered if it was the same guy, because he comes up, like, she pulls the gun on him. He's like, "You bitch!" He slaps her, and she just shoots him. She's like, "No, I'm not playing that game."
Yeah,
It's not that. Although she does look a bit shocked afterwards, but fuck it.
Yeah,
it was a funny. I laughed when I was like, okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're still fighting upstairs. Mad Dog's fighting them. And I think because Alan says, I'll deal with Mad Dog, doesn't he? And then you get that standoff, as you said. Which of course is another hint that Mad Dog is like, he's got some morals. He's gonna let them, he's like, no innocence. That's his rule now.
Yeah.
Although I guess he's had that rule the whole way through. He's only killed triads or cops, so I guess that is his rule.
I mean, you don't sort of notice until he brings it up. You just think he's a psycho.
He looks like a psycho. Yeah,
exactly. That's it. I think you just think, oh, he will kill anybody, but he doesn't. You don't notice until he says that. He's only killed triads and cops.
When Tequila's girlfriend is abseiling down the side of the building, do you think that was an accident, that she slipped and kind of fell? Because it looked really awkward.
Probably.
Because I don't know whether it's her or the stunt actress, if there was a stunt actress, but she kind of slips off, and it's like, oh, that looks like it might have hurt. That looked like it was an accident rather than on purpose.
Yeah, no, it's either a very well done stunt or it's a very well done. It's a very very well filmed fuck up, I guess.
Yeah. So while Alan and Mad Dog are kind of having their moment, Tequila finds a baby, and he's like, "Oh, they forgot a baby." So now he's like singing a lullaby to the baby whilst shooting people.
Yes,
and it's a very cute baby. It's a very
and I love that he's like this is not for you to see. It's adults only, sort of.
This is X-rated. Yeah. So good.
And so he gets, there's no way that, again, we're talking about, kids not surviving. I'm sure this baby would not survive the amount he gets, like, Joey runs around and throws himself about with his baby.
Yeah, I mean, Tequila gets shot at one point.
Yes. Yeah, he gets shot. Yeah, he does get shot in the arm. Or
shoulder or something, whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect his ability whatsoever, but yeah.
No. You said that's the thing.
He starts wiping the blood off the kid's head afterwards. Yeah. It's like, oh, excuse me, sorry.
Yes. And I like where he basically gets, there's a big Johnny's put explosive devices around the hospital, hasn't he?
He started setting up explosives.
Yeah, and he's like, fuck this, I'm just gonna press the button, bring the whole fucking place down, fuck it.
Yeah,
and
sod it.
You get some of the best fucking explosion work ever in this movie. And I know
yes, I was going to say though, just before that, we do get Johnny enters the room, kills all of the innocent people, causing Alan to escape. Mad Dog then shoots Johnny and is like, Johnny's like, are you out of your mind? And that's where he has his final, because he did raise it before that he might be going too far. He finally says, hey, this is too much. And as I said before, he gets shot for his troubles.
Yep.
But yes, the explosion.
Yeah.
Huge explosion.
I know that apparently Wu made him film the running along the corridor with the explosions going off behind him. He filmed. They filmed it, and we was like, yeah, that didn't look realistic enough. Go back and do it again. And so Joey went back and did it. And as he was, the one that you see in the thing, the explosion was so close to him, and he stopped at the end. He said to him, "How did it look? How was it good?" And he said, "Oh yeah, it looked brilliant." And then he just looked at the crew and went, "Bastard."
Yeah. So yeah, Johnny explodes everything, and yeah, just an insane shot.
Yeah. And you do get the Tequila's legs on fire and the baby pisses on it and puts it out.
Yes, yeah.
I think in the version that I was watching last night, he basically just says, "Hey, your pee-pee put out my fire," sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I remember that years ago I'd watched the dubbed version, and I remember the dubbed version. He says, "Hey, thanks, you little piss pot."
I prefer that. That's brilliant.
I quite like that one as well.
That's good. Great.
And apparently the reason they did that, the reason John Woo put that in, was because he said every time he picked up a baby in real life, it peed on him.
Right. So he was like using life experiences.
Yeah.
So anyway, Tequila escapes with the baby. Explosions following him. Alan refuses to go with Tequila, says, look after the baby, and he's going after Johnny. He's like, I need this. Of course, Tequila tries to talk him out of it, but he's having none of it. So as Tequila escapes, Alan is going after Johnny. And as you said, I mean, ludicrous explosion. Just insane.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's like you could definitely see that from space.
Oh, for sure. And you also get Tequila doing a Die Hard with a baby though, where he takes the cord and he's jumping out the window, using it to. It's good stuff. And of course, he almost lands on his feet as well, which I think was probably the intention, but he does kind of stumble over, which makes it look all the more real. Actually,
yeah, it looks better. It's great.
But good God, he's just stood there in this apocalypse. When he lands on the ground, like, everything is fire. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. But he saved a baby. He saved one life today. Ended 452, but saved one. Made it okay.
Well, apparently the body count for this for the hospital shootout is 230.
Oh God. I can believe that. No, I can absolutely believe that. There is an incalculable amount of death in this scene. Like, it's insane the amount of people that died in some of these shots.
Yeah. It was actually there was a funny thing I saw recently. I was watching a YouTube video about one of the sort of the background things in Grand Theft Auto 5.
Right.
To do, some of the things that you can come across and find in the world, and one of it was about a serial killer,
right?
Who like killed like 8 people, I think it was, or something. And one of the comments that I read was oh, terrible serial killer in the world of GTA kills 8 people. Meanwhile, the player has killed about 20 billion people.
I always the one that got me was that fucking the LA Noire. Because I would run over like 20 people getting to the crime scene. They'd just be like, "Oh, hey guys, I'm here to solve this one murder."
Yes, I've solved this murder.
Ignore the fact that I mowed down 12 people on my way to the crime scene.
20 pedestrians on the way to solve this murder.
It's a great game, but my God, I was terrible at driving. I was terrible at driving to the place. Anyway,
the on that game was pretty shonky.
I think they did it on purpose, just to be
There's
assholes.
some beautiful cars in that, though.
They do.
Some wonderful cars, but yeah.
So Johnny emerges from the flames with Alan at gunpoint, and holding him hostage. Of course, the superintendent tells him not to shoot. Tequila approaches, but obviously is kind of seemingly somewhat powerless. Johnny kind of says, "Oh, you're so I thought you were a super cop. You're nothing." And he's like, "Slap yourself." And of course, Tequila starts slapping himself. And he's like, "Say you're impotent." And he's just being like a proper like child at this point.
Yeah.
It's a really tense scene, and you kind of feel like, yeah, maybe.
It is, and I love how embarrassed that all of the coppers are.
Yeah, when like, really it's like it doesn't matter. Like none of this matters really.
No.
Like
I don't think you get that wonderful sort of like zoomed in shot of Alan, not Alan, Johnny's eye.
Yeah.
Over Alan's shoulder, sort of thing.
And
it kind of sets up what's going to happen.
Yeah,
you know what's going to happen.
It is great. He bends. Alan bends forward, grabs Johnny's gun, and shoots himself, and thus Johnny. He shoots through himself, through his stomach, into Johnny, and of course Tequila, without missing a beat, shoots Johnny straight through the fucking eye.
Yeah.
Which is very Dirty Harry of him for such a Dirty Harry style cop. I was like, that's a straight up Dirty Harry shot. And yes, so Johnny has finally been killed, but of course Alan is also down too.
And you get that sort of that shot, that pulling out shot above him, rising above him as the sort of camera spinning round,
as if the spirit leaves his body, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then of course you cut to Tequila's girl taking the paperwork for the undercut for Alan, and the superintendent burns it, and Tequila gives him the lighter, doesn't he? He gives the superintendent the lighter back. And yeah, they kind of talk about what he wanted to do to get away and all of that kind of stuff. You kind of hear the voiceover, don't you, from before? And you see all of the cranes in the water. You see the paper cranes being dropped into the water. And of course we see Alan on the boat. He's happy, he's smiling.
Yep.
He's kind of had his redemption, and he's living his life.
We did forget when they're discussing about like Tequila asks him when they're in the like the chamber before they can get in. And I think he asks him if he has any sort of like dreams, and he says he wants to retire and live in Greenland.
Yes, which is what the voiceover we hear here, isn't it? Is that?
Yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, you get that, and there's a brief moment, where he's burning the thing, and you think, oh, okay, so he didn't survive, and then you see him, and it's like, okay, yeah, he did survive. Like you said, he gets the redemption, but they did, but the original ending was.
Well, there is that. Like, is he actually dead? Is this like a heaven thing? Or,
yeah. Well, apparently the original ending was he dies, but everybody, all the crew and all the people were basically said to Wu, no, we can we let him survive in that, and they managed to persuade him to do that final scene of him surviving, which I'm not sure it needed. I think I would have been slightly happier if he died, maybe. I
think you can take it either way, actually.
Yeah,
but
I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy that he's not, but I'm also think it would have been. I think more fitting if he would have died.
Yeah, I like my heroic bloodshed to involve protagonist dying. It kind of just feels right. But yeah, I agree. I'm happy either way. But
yeah,
in any case,
in the end, I think he wanted the slightly more hopeful ending. Is I think why he was persuaded to do it, because I think one of the reasons why he did this movie was because I think a lot of the critics and things were saying that he was glamorizing triads and the triad wheel of life, which Will, as I said, I don't really care about triads. It's just that they make for interesting characters. Yeah. So he wanted to do, he decided that he'd do the same for cops. He'd do a more heroic cop movie than the usual triad stuff that he was doing. So that's why he did it, and why he was persuaded to do the nicer ending, if you like.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because on the one hand, as you said earlier, you had Anthony Wong saying, "Oh, John Woo wouldn't listen to anyone except Chow Yun-fat," and yet here apparently people managed to change his mind on some stuff.
Chow was one of the people that was saying,
"Oh yeah, I guess if
so." It kind of does say if Chow's saying change it, then maybe.
Yeah. Either way, that was hard boiled. I think it's the best, most ridiculous gun movie ever made. It's just, if you want gunfights, you will not get more gunfight in any single film than this. It's ridiculous.
And the equivalent these days is definitely the
shoot 'em up or something.
John Wick movies, the John Wick movies.
Oh, I was going to say shoot 'em up, but yeah, okay, yeah.
Well, shoot 'em up's great as well, but that's how old is shoot 'em up now? That's been out for a
2008
long time.
or something. Yeah, probably it's quite old. Yeah.
So the closest equivalent now is the John Wick movies, because they're just
which has always had heroic bloodshed parallels, hasn't it? So yeah. But yeah.
It's not my favorite of those movies. But
mine either. But I figured because we will do Better Tomorrow for sure.
It's been a while since I'd watched it, and I just sat with a big grin on my face the whole movie. It's just fucking amazing.
Yeah, and you gave me the option of Better Tomorrow or Hard Boiled, and I felt like in terms of the film that introduced me to the genre and popularized it in the West, this felt like the one to start with. We will of course be doing Better Tomorrow, and I'm sure we'll do The Killer, although I think we might have already done The Killer.
Oh, we've done The Killer.
See, I had that in the back of my head. I was like, I think we've already done this.
We did The Killer. That was the first Hong Kong movie we did, I think.
This is how bad my memory is. See, I forget, but I had a sneaking suspicion we'd done it. But
next time we do a Hong Kong movie, I think we should go for one of the less bloody, gory ones. I think maybe Chungking Express, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But in any case, we will be back next week with new movies, and of course, all of the CinemaCon trailers. We'll be going through all of them too. But until then, stay safe, take care, and we will catch you next time.